Tell us a little bit more about, kind of, some highlights from the journey and what went on for you through the sales process after we engaged together between broker and client.
Yeah.
What was the experience like for you? What all happened through that, and any, words of wisdoms you'd have for other sellers that are going through this? There's so little information out there, about,
Oh, I
what the
know. I
process
know.
is like. It's kind of scary, I think, for some people.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need to be. It's especially when you've got, trusted advisors on your side that can guide you
Yeah.
through it, like we've done with thousands of others.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I can speak to that. There was something that was kind of interesting. And I think that it's actually common sense is to run your business like you would anyways, if you're in the middle of an exit. And so that was, kind of hard, right? Because you are having to run your business and grow and continue to grow and show the buyer that you haven't stopped traction. So there's an element of restraint there that's you just have to get over as, as a seller of your business, that the growth you're doing is sealing the deal. And then you're also giving up some of that growth in terms of the profits. Because once you sign that agreement, then you have to go into due diligence and go into the, multi-month phase. For me, it took quite a few months to get through all the paperwork, but, continuing to grow and continuing to launch products, it's a little emotional. It's like, man, I have these great ideas and I'm launching, but that's just, part of, the business world. A buyer can pull out of a deal, if they feel like your revenues are crashing, and they see everything anyways. That's the other thing is, don't try to hide information, be transparent. And this is my net profit for this product. Here, all the tax returns, proper bookkeeping, keeping everything clean, is really important, because if a buyer kind of sniffs out some impropriety, they're going to find it, and they're going to, either pull out of the deal, or they're going to give you a lower multiple. And so the goal is the highest multiple possible. And that was, from my experience, that was a huge part too, is just, having a downline of new product ideas that are ready, that I'm currently launching, and then also having a pretty healthy backlog of products for the buyer. And so that was attractive for my exit. I tell that to everyone I talk to, have product ideas ready to rock and roll for the buyer, because the buyer doesn't want to have to, go through a learning phase on top of coming up with product ideas, because a lot of these people have no Amazon experience. And so they don't want to jump in, have the stress of just simply running the business, and then come up with ideas. So buyers are wanting, give them a year and a half of cushion in terms of product ideas. So that, that could be, gosh, 3 to a dozen product ideas, And so I handed over, sketches and designs and everything really, during the exit. And so they got all the intellectual property for those things. And they have launched some of those product ideas, and they're actually successful. So, that's the best case situation. My exit, it wasn't one where the buyer flopped. Proper training was done, and actually still, doing ongoing training for the buyer, and just, focusing on them being successful, and the buyer understanding it's going to take some work, and there's going to be a learning curve.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've got two deals that have stalled out because the entrepreneur, the seller, took their foot off the gas, and
Oh,
we had to stop. We basically had to put the listing on hold. It's like a house. It's all of a sudden you have to take it off the market. They have
yeah,
to get the sales going again, and then we have to relist it later, because buyers just aren't going to tolerate a business that its sales decline in the middle of due diligence. They, in some cases, there's some explanations for it. There's seasonality to it, that's understood.
right.
But if you've got year over year significant decrease, it's a stopper. And then
Well, it's also an issue for the financing side too.
yeah,
I mean, I can't tell you how many dang reports and financial statements and all sorts of things the bank just kept asking for, and they wanted, like, more and more updates for inventory and sales figures and all this stuff. And, I can't even imagine, a bank getting information, they're going to be giving, multi-million dollar funds to a buyer of a business, and then now they're seeing statements showing that the sales have gone down. That's just crazy, So
Yeah.
it's really important, and it felt like a little bit of you're kind of grinding for like somebody else, but you just have to keep your focus on the fact that you're exiting for a very significant number.
Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?